Good evening, everybody out there in virtual land. Welcome to January. Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to the second half of our season in 2021. We continue to be virtual, but we've been keeping up and doing a pretty good job. I hope you've been watching us online. We're going to start tonight with a Jack Benny program, and I've got some background about Jack Benny. The first program he hosted on radio was sponsored by Canada Dry, and it began in 1932. According to sources, Mary Livingston's first appearance occurred on the July 27th, 1932 broadcast. Then, in October of '32, the program moved from NBC to CBS. The final program of this series aired in January of 1933. 78 episodes aired, but there are only 3 still in existence. Jack's next program was sponsored by Chevrolet. He was back on NBC. Jack Gets Around. Of the 17 episodes of that season, it seems that we have only 5 in circulation. Then right after Jack Benny finished with Chevrolet, he started a new series in April of '34. The General Tire and Rubber Company was now his sponsor. This was the first time that his announcer, Don Wilson, made his debut. And famed Benny character Schlepperman made his first appearance in the August 3rd, 1934 program. Letting no moss gather under his feet, just 2 weeks after the General Tire program ended, Jack returned with yet another new sponsor, Jell-O. However, this sponsor will finally stick around, and General Foods, first with Jell-O and then with Grape Nuts Flakes, remained Jack Benny Show's sponsor until the end of the 1943-44 season. This season would make Jack Benny a bona fide radio star, and the 7 p.m. Sunday time slot remained his for the next 20 years. On October 4th, 1936, the Jell-O program began its 3rd season. More pieces of the classic Jack Benny Show lineup began falling into place. On the first episode of that season, Phil Harris made his debut as the new orchestra leader. On March 28, 1937, Eddie Anderson first appeared as Rochester in a bit on a train. Other classic Jack Benny bits are also from this season. The first Buck Benny sketch appeared in November '36, and on January 10th, 1937, that was the beginning of the Jack Benny-Fred Allen feud, which went on for quite a while. Well, the Jell-O program continued, and Jack bought his notorious Maxwell car on the October 24th, 1937 program. And then in the 5th season of the Jell-O program, Jack's new pet, Carmichael the polar bear, I don't remember that, but maybe somebody does, appeared in 1939, portrayed by Mel Blanc. And in the 6th season of sponsorship by Jell-O, we introduced Dennis Day as Jack's singer. The core cast of Jack Benny, Mary Livingston, Eddie Anderson, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, and Don Wilson would remain unchanged for the next decade, with the exception of Dennis and Phil's absences due to military duty. Starting off the 1944-45 season, the sponsorship switched again, this time to the American Tobacco Company and Lucky Strikes cigarettes. And this continued an uninterrupted run until the end of Jack Benny's radio programming. Jack Benny sure had a lot of sponsors, and I wish I had invested in all of those companies at one time. Meanwhile, tonight we're doing Jack Benny playing Captain Horatio Hornblower.
The Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride that I bring you the star of our show, the man who was the inspiration for that beautiful ballad, Too Young. And here he is, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Hello again, this is Jack Benny talking. And Don, that was a very clever introduction, so I think it's only fair that I tell the audience that you too were the inspiration for a song.
Oh, really? What song?
My Truly, Truly Fat. Don, here it is, only the second program of the season, and already you had to give me a sarcastic introduction.
Sarcastic? Jack, believe me, I didn't mean it to be.
Oh, you didn't mean it to be, hmm? Well, look, Don, we have a long show to do tonight, so let's not really...
Jack, if I had any idea that you would misconstrue what was meant to be a compliment, I certainly wouldn't have said it.
Okay, let's forget it. And now, ladies and gentlemen...
Jack, I can't forget it.
Don.
I wouldn't say anything to hurt you for the world.
All right.
In fact, when I thought of that introduction, I told it to my wife. And she said, Donald, that was beautiful. I'm so glad you're not going to say anything to make that old goat unhappy.
What? Don, your wife called me an old goat?
Well?
Don, does your wife know about the new contract I gave you?
Well, yes, Jack, and it's not so different. I've always worked from week to week.
Well, this year you're working from word to word. I can fire you between LS and MFT. Now go and sit down.
Now, wait a minute, Jack.
Huh?
If you feel that my services are no longer needed on this program, just say the word and I'll go.
Don, forget it. Sit down, will you? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to do a very Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's all right.
I'll tell you what happened. I was driving down Sunset Boulevard. I made a left turn, the wrong lane, and a cop stopped me.
No kidding. Did you get a ticket?
Well, he was going to give me one, but I talked him out of it.
Oh.
I told him I was a working girl and I didn't have much money. And...
Uh-huh.
And right now, it was especially tough on me because I was sending my brother through college.
Well, did he believe that?
He didn't seem to, so I opened my purse to show him my brother's picture. But I was so nervous, I showed him a picture of my sister, Babe, instead.
Oh, then you really were in trouble.
No, it worked.
Now, wait a minute, Mary. I know we kid a lot about Babe, but how could anyone take her for a man?
Well, fortunately, Jack, when this picture was taken, Babe had just come home from a football game and was still wearing her helmet.
Oh, well, I imagine that broken nose helped a little, too. Anyway, Mary, I'm glad you didn't get a ticket. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction...
I've got my pride, you know.
Don, forget it.
I won't forget it. I'm not wanted on this program. I'll leave.
Jack, what's wrong with Don?
Oh, it's nothing.
Nothing, he says. And after all I've done for him,
Now, just hold it a minute, Don. What have you ever done for me?
I'll tell you what I've done for you. I've been on this program 17 years. And for 17 years, I've been eating and stuffing myself just so you can do jokes at my expense.
What?
How many laughs would you get if I weren't a big fat slob?
Don Wilson, I've never called you
Well, you've thought it many a time.
Jack Benny, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Ashamed of myself for what? I knew this whole thing would be twisted around where it'd all be my fault.
My mother hates you too.
Dennis, this doesn't concern your mother, and it doesn't concern you either.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Hello. Now, this is just between Don and myself.
Now, wait a minute, Jack. What concerns one member of the cast concerns all of us.
Look, Mary, you can keep out of this too.
Now, wait a minute. You can't talk to Mary like that.
Oh, I can, eh? Well, let me tell you something.
Hold it. Stop this bickering.
Huh?
We've got to stick together. We're still in radio.
Phil, the whole thing is Don's fault. He not only gave me a sarcastic introduction, but now he tells me that I owe my whole career to him. That if he didn't eat and get fat, I would have no show at all.
Well, Jackson, Donzie's got a point there.
What?
Look what I have to do to live up to the character you gave me.
Look, Phil...
Do you think I like to drink?
Huh?
Do you think I like to spend my time in pool rooms and cocktail bars and stagger home at 4 o'clock in the morning? Do you think I enjoy that?
Now, Phil, let me get this straight. You mean to say you do all this just for my program?
Now, that's right.
Well, then, let me ask you something. We weren't on the radio last night. How come I saw you lying in the gutter?
Rehearsal, Dad, rehearsal.
Well, Phil, in that case, I owe you an apology. Is there anything I can do to make amends?
Oh, I'm not sure. What does amens mean?
Just forget it. Now, look, kids, look. I've listened to all your complaints. Don claims he stuffs himself at the table so he can be fat for my program. Phil claims he drinks a lot so he can remain in character just for my show. Well, let me tell you something. I make sacrifices, too, to get laughs. Do you think it's easy for me to be stingy and cheap?
Well, this is a loyalty test if I've ever heard one.
Never mind. Now, Dennis.
I was going to sing my song, but you never compliment me.
Look, Dennis, I don't have to compliment you every time you sing a song. After all, you're getting paid, aren't you?
No.
What do you mean, no?
That's why I have to wear these old clothes all the time.
What are you talking about? You've been with me for over 10 years now, haven't you?
Uh-huh.
And after every broadcast, haven't I sent you a check?
Uh-huh.
Well, what do you do with the money when you cash them?
Oh, cash them.
Mary, give me an Alka-Seltzer, will you please?
Well, Jack, I don't want to embarrass you in front of everybody, but since we're on the subject, I'd like to talk about the check you sent me last week.
What about it?
It bounced.
Bounced? You mean it came back marked insufficient funds?
No, improper signature.
My check? Why, I remember signing it, Jack Benny.
I know, but you left off star of stage, screen, and radio.
Oh, yes, that's my commercial account. I'm sorry. Now, let's get on with the program. Unless the delegate from Encino has a complaint. Anything wrong with your check, Phil?
No, I just show it to Alice. We have a good laugh, and that's the end of it.
Phil, Alice can laugh at Glenn McCarthy's checks, believe me. Now, kids, let's drop all these arguments and get on with the program. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction tonight, we're... Oh, who can that be? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Rochester. I'm just ready to do a play. What do you want?
Well, don't get mad, but I broke one of your golf clubs.
Rochester, you had work to do. Why did you go out and play golf?
I didn't play golf. I used them to clean the house.
Now that's ridiculous. How can you clean house with golf clubs?
Easy. I wrapped rags around the driver and used it to mop the floor.
What?
I did the kitchen in 4 strokes, the pantry in 5. I had trouble in the ball, but coming through the den, I was 4 under par.
Well, if there's any way of making play out of work, you'll find it. I'm surprised you didn't try this little trick of yours in the living room.
Oh, I wanted to, but that dust on the piano is worse than a sand trap.
That I know. It's your fault. Now, Rochester, put away my golf gloves.
Rochester, honey, hang up that phone and let's finish the game.
Rochester, who was that?
My caddy.
Now cut that out. Rochester, I'll be home in an hour, so you better have dinner ready.
Yes, sir. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, say, boss,
Now what?
that check you gave me last week that had my first raise in salary, it bounced.
Oh, for heaven's sake, what's wrong? Improper signature?
No,
Insufficient funds?
no,
Then what was wrong?
they just wouldn't believe it.
Oh, well, we'll have it notarized. Don't worry. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Funny how a checking account can get so messed up. Now, where was I?
We were ready to start our sketch.
Oh, yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction tonight, we're going to do a dramatic play. Our version of Warner Brothers' great Technicolor production, Captain Horatio Hornblower. Now, in this sketch, I will play the part of Captain Horatio Hornblower.
Naturally.
Now, Mary, you're going to play the part of that Virginia Mayo played in the picture.
Oh, Lady Barbara.
That's right. And towards the end of our sketch, you're delirious with yellow fever. And while I'm nursing you through your crisis, you fall madly in love with me.
I bet I know why.
Why?
Well, while I was delirious, you looked like Gregory Peck.
Oh, thank you. Anyway, you're Lady Barbara, and you were sent on a special mission by the Duke of Wellington.
Hey, he's got a great orchestra.
That's Duke Ellington.
Oh.
Now, Phil, you're going to be the first mate, and Don, you're going to play the part of an admiral.
Well, an admiral? That sounds real important.
It is, and you're going to be one of the biggest admirals. You have a 19-inch screen.
I wouldn't be able to play that part if I didn't stuff myself just for you.
Look, Don, don't do me any favors. I'll change the part. You'll just be a member of my crew. And finally, we come to you, Dennis.
It's about time.
Dennis, you're going to play the part of El Supremo.
El Supremo?
Yes, he's an unscrupulous, power-mad, ruthless, bloodthirsty cutthroat who'll stop at nothing to get what he wants.
Gee, that's my agent.
No, El Supremo happens to be a Spanish rebel. Now, Don, set the scene for our play, will you?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our version of Captain Horatio Hornblower. In the year of 1807, all that kept Napoleon from dominating the entire world was England's gallant navy. One of England's smaller ships was the Lydia, a wooden sailing vessel carrying only 32 cannon. But making up for what she lacked in firepower was the bravery, wisdom, seamanship, and daring of her commander, Captain Horatio Hornblower.
That's me.
Naturally.
Quiet, Dennis. Continue, Don.
Right now, with the air dead calm, the men are out in boats trying to tow the Lydia into a wind.
Look at those men. Well might Napoleon fear the likes of them. They've gone without fresh fruit for a year, without bread for 7 months, without water for days, and for 6 whole weeks they haven't heard, "Come on to my house." Stout fellows.
You're right, Captain. And that's why I'm afraid the men might mutiny. They haven't touched land for nearly a year. They're going crazy for the sight of a woman.
Why?
You wouldn't understand.
I wouldn't?
Naturally.
Well, look, men, hark! A breeze. A breeze. By the great horn spoon, we've whistled up a wind. Call the men back to the ship, Wilson.
Aye, aye, sir. Back to the ship, men.
Well, look out, Wilson. Don't get too close to the edge or you'll... Oh, man overboard!
Good. Good.
Look, Captain, he's swimming for it. Oh, come on, Wilson. Just a few more strokes and... Well, Captain, look at that man-eating shark.
Yeah. Look at that man eating that shark. Good man, Wilson. Stout fellow.
I'm only stuffing myself for you.
Never mind. Climb aboard, Wilson.
Captain Hornblower, look. There's a ship off the port side.
Let me take a look at it. Hand me your glass.
Here you are, sir.
Not that one. The one you look through. That's better.
Well, what does she look like, Captain?
She flies the French flag, but she's no man of war. She'll soon surrender. Wait. Fire a shot across her bow.
One shot across the bow. Fire!
What happened?
The wind was against us.
Oh,
Shall I fire another shot, Captain?
no need for that. She's running up a white flag. Send a boat over and bring back the prisoners. I'll be in my cabin.
Aye, aye, sir.
Come in.
It's me, sir. I have the captain of the French ship. And, sir, they had a woman passenger aboard, so I brought her too.
A woman, eh? Or bring the captain in. I want to question him first.
Naturally.
You stay out of this. Bring him in, mate.
Come on, in with you. Get in.
Are you the captain of that French ship?
Oui,
And you sailed from the port of Marseille?
oui,
Are you carrying a woman aboard?
oui.
What does the woman look like?
Wow,
Wow.
oui.
Well, I won't bother with him. Throw him in irons. I'll question the woman. Where is she?
Right outside, sir.
Oh, there she is. I'll talk to her. Mademoiselle, j'ai vanté parler avec vous?
Hello, Captain.
Wait a minute. You speak English.
I am English.
Then how did you happen to be the only woman on a French ship?
I won the trip on a quiz program.
On a quiz program? What was the question they asked you?
Would you like to go?
Then your answer was yes?
Naturally.
Wait a minute, miss. Your face is familiar. Who are you?
Sir, I am Lady Barbara, sister of the Duke of Wellington, daughter of the Earl of Gloucester, niece of the King of England, and salesgirl of the May Company.
What's that?
Captain, you'd better get her ladyship below deck. The men are becoming unruly.
All right, don't worry, your ladyship. You're safe with me.
Naturally.
Thank you, your ladyship. Now just come along with...
Oh, ship off the starboard bow.
What kind is she?
She's a Spanish galleon.
A galleon?
Oh, good. That's a quart for each of us. Oh, Harris, many brave hearts are asleep in the deep, but you're awake every minute.
Last year by this time he'd be gone already. All right, men, clear the decks for action.
Wait, Captain. The Spaniards are putting out a small boat.
Yeah, look. Standing in the prow is El Supremo.
El Primo.
Yes, and they're heading this way.
Captain, El Supremo's boat is almost alongside of us.
Mate, prepare to fire a salute in El Supremo's honor, and be ready to pipe them aboard.
Aye, aye, sir. Guns, fire! Company, attention! In honor of El Supremo, pipe them aboard!
Which one of you commoners is the Capitan?
I am El Supremo.
When you saw me approach, you fired an 11-gun salute.
That's right, I hope you liked it.
Rike it, pig. I am insulted. I am El Supremo. I am accustomed to a 23-gun salute.
But El Supremo, I can only use 11 guns.
But you have many more. What are you doing with the rest of the guns?
I'm making puffed rice. It's awfully good with...
Quiet, commoner. One so lowly as yourself does not speak direct to El Supremo. If you have anything to say, discuss it with my Prime Minister over there.
Yes, sir. Excuse me. Are you El Supremo's Prime Minister?
Sí.
Is it true that he holds prisoners for ransom?
Sí.
And is the ransom 1,000 bushels of beans?
Sí.
What kind of beans?
Soy.
Soy?
Sí.
Wait a minute. Haven't I seen you before?
Sí.
Where?
A few minutes before, I was the French Capitan.
What's your name?
Mel Blanc.
Mel Blanc?
C.
C?
Mel C. Blanc.
What does the C stand for?
Sigh.
Psi?
C.
Well, El Supremo doesn't scare me. I think he's a yellow dog.
I heard that, pig. For this you die. Draw your sword.
All right. Stand back, everyone. On guard.
Ah, the English Capitan is full worthy of my blade.
You're right. I am Captain Horatio Hornblower, England's greatest swordsman. Take that.
Ah!
Oops. Sorry, Lady Barbara. Come on, El Supremo.
Nobody lives to insult El Supremo.
Oh, yeah? I've got you cornered. There. I'll miss my first mate, but I'll get you, El Supremo.
Prepare to die, pig. Your end is near.
Oh, yeah? First you'll taste the coldness of my steel. There. Oops. Got Wilson.
Him you could hardly miss. Well, that's all. I surrender. I am your prisoner.
Why are you surrendering? You haven't even been hurt.
There are only two of us left.
Oh, you're a coward.
Naturally.
All right, men. Let the wind take her. We are headed home for England.
This is the CBS Radio Network. Our cast for tonight: Jack Benny's program, Captain Horatio Hornblower. Jack Benny was played by Brad Zero. Mary Livingston, Nell Brennan. Dennis Day was naturally played by Herb Thompson. Phil Harris, Jacob Palka. Rochester, our own Tom Duggan. Mel Blanc was played by Marty McNulty. Kathy Juarez was a girl. And I was your announcer. Playing Don Wilson, I am Andre Dixon. I'd like to have our director for tonight come up.
Thanks, Andre. We can't forget, and the sound effects on that one were really, really good. So let's thank Marty McNulty. Especially like the sword fight.